Alright. Let me just put myself in here somewhere. Good evening, anyone. We are not there yet, but at least our stream is live. I am so sorry for the wait. I got held up a tiny bit just trying to get everything in order. But here we are, and now the screen is blank. Let's see. Yeah, it's there. Alright. So, oh man, are we there yet? No, it's about 25 minutes out, but we're going to continue to do what we did the previous seasons and recap every week so that the wait is at least a tiny bit more fun, right? And also that it's a little bit more enjoyable because we're following along what's happening in the league and the fantasy league and everything like that. So let's get to it. We're going to do our normal standard review style, so we're going to start off just with a little bit of numbers. I'm happy to say that we've got 4 new ALTs. Oh, ALT, I keep saying that, sorry. ALT is an assistant language teacher. We've got 4 more alternates that have joined since the season kicked off a week ago. We are still a bit below the numbers that we had in the previous season, but that's a great improvement. We'd love to see more people join in a little bit later and coming in as alternates for this season, and then probably becoming full-time members in the following season. And speaking of, actually, we already had almost all the alts contacted, I think, because we had 17 alternates playing in the previous week. So of the, how many did we have? I think about 65 alts. Yeah, not quite a third, but 17 of them got scheduled in for games for last week. And actually, board 5 and board 7 were not able to get alternates in, and I think actually that's where some of the forfeited and scheduled draw games came from, which is very unfortunate. So if you join late, if you're an alt, you're definitely going to get a chance to play. Don't feel bad about that. You're definitely going to be in there to play. And I can just kind of scroll down to show you what I'm talking about here briefly. So here you can see at the bottom, here's the alternates, and then from board 1 to board 8. And you'll see here for board 1, we've got some unavailable and 3 scheduled, 2 unavailable, 2 scheduled, 2 unavailable, 2 scheduled, 3 scheduled. And then for board 5, we've got 3 unavailable and a yellow card, which I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Missed the game, it seems. So I don't know, maybe scheduled and couldn't make it. Unsure. And then board 6, we had 2 unavailable and 3 scheduled. Board 7, unfortunately, only 2 unavailable, no one scheduled. And then board 8, we had 3 scheduled as well. So definitely across the board, across all the boards, if you're an alt, you're going to get a chance to play this season. Because we have more teams, we have less alts, and in that way, we really require these people to be up and willing to play a game. So yeah, don't stress if you're joining late. You definitely still have a chance. Alright, average rating is, yeah, stacked. Oh, yeah. Alright, as we go. I'm just trying to make sure I'm catching up everything. Hey, Jordan. Porn Fu, I like that. Hey, Fourier Fox, thank you very much for joining. Sorry, I think there's a mosquito around me somewhere. So, he tackled the opponent when he didn't have the ball. Maybe that's it wasn't chess boxing, but he came out swinging, and that's where the problems come from. Okay, so that's the amount of players, that's the alts, that's the story we always share. If you're an alt, you're going to get a game, don't worry about it. And you get to choose, right, if you want to play that week or not. You get the choice versus having to play. So that's quite nice, actually. Being an alt is definitely pretty good if you have a bit of an up and down schedule and you're not sure. So, jumping over to our results then. Let me quickly go back up and get into the pairings. So it's still week 1, so obviously some teams are going to win and some are going to lose, and it doesn't really mean that anyone is leading yet, but we can like a little bit of a look and just see kind of which teams had really strong victories. I think in total, so we have 44 teams, so 22 matches, and in that we had 4 draws, I think, this week, so that was pretty good. And then because we have 44 teams and 8 boards each, that's like 176 games happening in the week. And of that, only 7 were scheduled draws or forfeit losses / wins. So, pretty good start. From last season, I do remember that the forfeit scheduled draw games tend to tick up a little bit as the season goes on. Obviously, at the start of the season, everyone's really motivated and hyped, and then maybe some teams don't do so well, or some players don't do so well, and they lose some motivation. That's unfortunate. I can understand it, but I do hope that we use those alts that we have, then get them in to play the games and avoid forfeiting or just scheduling a draw. I also then have a few teams that I called out last time, but because we don't have specific teams leading yet because it's only one week in. Let's just maybe have a look from the top and have a look at who was doing well. I'll call out the teams that I know that we were looking at from last season as well. And if you know of one of these teams that's not on the list that I have, who are the same group, at least 4 of the players that played last season together, please let me know. I like to follow these kind of clusters of players around in the system a little bit to see how they're doing, to see if they do well. Tronzu has like 1 million season victories already, but I can't seem to tag them down with a specific group of people quite so well, so I do wonder what their secret is. But anyway, so let's just have a look here. So Kamsky and Kramnik cheat detection consultants. I still like that name. I do think we have 1 or 2 more new names as well, so we'll see them in a bit. The Empire Strikes Back rank, so they took a 3-5 victory, pretty good. And unfortunately, Derbor had to take a forfeit loss, so that's not so good there, I guess. I also just have to make sure, yeah, everything's open. Then team as in team as in team, really very good result for them. 6-2. That's a pretty strong one. I think I saw Susie Dent's finishing game. That was quite a tight kind of in-game situation. So that was like middle of the night for me, but I was up to feed my son, so I saw that quickly. Then we have 100 pawns versus 1 gorilla. Still probably my favorite name right now. Take an unfortunate loss versus 4 mates who did pretty well with 1 scheduled draw at the top. So Jesse HF, who we saw in John Jonathan Bartholomew's game, JB's game that he posted on YouTube. He was playing Jesse HF actually. Apparently they've played before. That was like their second game, and it was on stream, so that was pretty cool to see as well. In here, I mean, there's quite a few people I could call out. Maybe I'll just say the ones that I know are around. It's always nice to hear your own name right. So Gospel Gambit, I don't think is here, but Gospel Gambit, one of the few other people who stream on YouTube. I think recently we had the Art of the Pawn Storm coming in with their own YouTube stream as well. So look out for them streaming in the future too. Jordan, you are here. Congratulations on your win. YSG, I can't pronounce this. I'm not going to try. M as in Emily, the team figurehead, I guess, took a loss unfortunately. Fork 2020 took a win, and Barbelay also took a win. Congratulations. In your opponents, I unfortunately don't recognize too many players. In the 100 pawns versus 1 gorilla, buffer underrun I know. And then on their opponent's side, Astronominov, who beat him this time, and Omertel, who we used to see in this stream a little bit actually. Omertel used to be around here in like December, Jan, I think, but they maybe even to February, but then they went quiet. So unfortunate. I hope they're doing okay. Prostitute over here taking in a game as an alternate, getting a win. Congratulations. Yeah, and then let's move on. Let's see. WYDD1 Lone Wolf. Oh snap! We should actually maybe pop over to the Lone Wolf results just briefly as well, because I had some notes, but one of them is that the new Lone Wolf registrations open today, and I will be looking at your applications. And if you don't have if you're new to the thing anyway, and if you don't have a provisional rating, I'll maybe send you a little message on Lichess, a little love note. Hey, you need a non-provisional rating. So yeah, maybe we should have a look at those results quickly as well if we have a bit of a second. Okay, so moving on, I suggest you push the F pawn. So these are our winners from last season, and I think that Prostitute said in the chat for in general recently that this is just their absolutely favorite name. It encapsulates everything that they believe in the league or something like absolutely over the top. But anyway, this was a draw. In here, I watched Mori versus Lorb. That was an unfortunate loss. Mori, if you're listening, you played the idea I said on. Was I watching on stream or was I watching by myself? Anyway, I said it, and then you played it, and then you lost. So lesson learned. Yeah, if I say an idea, don't play it next time. Matthew Huber, who's captain again. Junaf, are you around, Jay? Congratulations on taking a loss. That's unfortunate, my man, but I hope that you have a good week 2 and going forward in the season as well. We do obviously win and lose sometimes. Okay, then we're going on with the game over. Yeah, no. Then we're going on with Bobby's World is from Plastic to Tragic. It's a Secret, unfortunately, took a loss versus Magician 01, who I think was one of the rookies for last season. It feels strange, right? Board 1 rookie, but it basically just means like new entry into the league. Someone who hasn't played in the league before. Meekly, I saw their game briefly. That was a crazy little French situation. And then Val1313, congratulations on taking a draw against Ark. I hope Val's doing well. We haven't really spoken in the last while. Shonuf took out Andrew Remic and FWC lost, unfortunately. Tough one. And then Down Home took a win. Congratulations. Down Home apparently has a really cool Lego set that he built with his sons. I'm jealous. That sounds really fun. Alright, let's move on. Habemus von Poppel versus Control Alt Defeat. So Control Alt Defeat got a win here. Congratulations. Well, loss. Like, where did they win? Oh, they won at the bottom though. So they got a draw, 3 losses, 3 wins here. Angent Row, Kostas Viel, and then they got a forfeit win at the end. Oh, so that actually sealed it. Unfortunate for Habemus von Poppel, who couldn't get the 8th board to play. They maybe would have been able to either win or even just get a draw instead of taking a loss for this round. That's unfortunate, but it happens. Alright, moving on. Nightmare on the 7th rank. Habemus and Bishop pair. That's pretty good too. This was a draw. Here's Tome. Tome hasn't been streaming recently, but I do know that they're playing a lot of OTB chess. I'm a little bit jealous. But in the OTB channel, they sometimes come share their games, so that's really interesting as well. And I actually don't really know their team at all. Here's Computer User. Here's Akshak. Oh, snap. Akshak is super strong. Akshak is also an ALT, an alt again, I think. Akshak, if you're in the chat, say hi. I hope you're doing well. We had Akshak come join, I don't know, like last season at the end for one of the review or one of the like coverage streams. Really fun chatting with someone very strong in the stream about ideas on the board and so forth. Definitely, I can obviously learn quite a lot. Who else is here? Said Nominee. Oh no, very nice. Said Nominee, I think, is also in the popular players list of the Fantasy League. I think they're the board's 7 pick, so congratulations, they got a win. And Falston also a really nice person I played with previous season, unfortunately got a loss. Alright, and then I think this is probably the most kind of, what do you say, convincing win for this round. Skewer, I barely know her, got a 6.5 win versus Control Alt Resign. Unfortunately, maybe executing their team name during this game. So here, don't actually know most of these. I've covered Bakeman, but I don't specifically know them. Seb32, I used to play against a few times. We were rated quite close back in the day, and I played them like 3-4 times in a row. But I haven't seen them in the chat a lot recently, in Slack. Rory Glagla, I've covered them before as well. Steve North, Fletcher, and Rub, yeah. Alright, so unfortunate for this team. It happens, by the way. It doesn't really mean much. On one week's result, you can't actually say much of anything about any team's strength or even a player. The sample is too small. There's so many things that could influence it. So yeah, unfortunate the way it shook out, but I hope this team doesn't take it too seriously. Definitely, there's still a whole season to play. Rogue Rule and Achok. I know I'm not pronouncing this correctly. It just makes me feel like I'm so uneducated. But anyway, they got a win against one of the new names. We find that Thibault. I don't think I've ever actually pronounced his name out loud. Thibault. Tell me if I'm wrong. Cancels out Capablanca. For those who don't know, Thibault is the founder of Lichess. Also a fair chess player, I think. Alright, here bad player, top-rated player in the league, I think, took a win. Tough one, not a big surprise. I hope that the opponent got something cool out of it though. Sakwin versus Night Fury. Congratulations Night Fury getting a win here. Very nice on board too to take out Sakwin, who's a very fun player, plays a lot of kind of aggressive chess. Stefan15, who isn't streaming anymore it seems, took a win on board 4. Congratulations. Gray Sensei, who went to... Where did you go? You guys went to... you and Millsbees went to that tournament in Iceland. And I forgot the place's name. It's the Bobby Fischer place, man. Reykjavik, isn't it? He went to the Reykjavik Open, I think. Gray Sensei and Millsbees were there. We followed their results along, and every now and then Millsbees would go to stand at Anna Cramning's board, which was being streamed live with his 4545 footy, just like straight in the middle, massive, kind of like a banner in the background. That was really fun to see the pictures of. Alright, and oh yeah, Nirewolf is back as well. Congratulations on a win there. Alright, let's go on. Ivanlog Modyak versus Brotherhood Brotherhood of Wood words. Silk the Wanderer took a win here. Congratulations. Oh yeah, Q. Hope they're doing good. Hope the dog is good. Mennonite took a win as well. Congratulations. I don't know if Mennonite is in the stream tonight. Um, they they taught me a new word because their name is something I had to look up. Um, if they're in the chat and they say something, I'll recognize the name. Otherwise, I'm kind of blanking right now. What else am I seeing? What am I seeing? Mr. Scrubs took a loss, unfortunately. Cinema Show took a win. Cinema Show is the person who did the cool data visualization for the board ratings for this season, this last season as well. So that was pretty nice. And yeah, Jay Comedy versus Rob W got a draw. Congratulations there as well. Not Forking Around versus Monk E conversion, so not forking around, unfortunately lost. Some rapper player took a draw. Chess is a draw. Congrats, SRP. Who else do I know here? Palsy 2000 at least I recognize. Slugman I recognize, and so on. A few others, but no one that I think ever comes to the channel, so we will move on. Pawn Stormers versus Disapieces, one of the teams where... Oh, there's Barbele. Hey yo. Disapieces is one of the teams that funny animator Jim did a nice kind of hand drawing for. I think in the waiting screen we have their logo, although sorry, the waiting screen was like 3 minutes long today, so you probably didn't get too much time to look at it. The chess player Sina played in the Simul with us, the Saquon Simul previously. That was really fun. Sideshow Bob is here. Sneaky Attack. And that's all I got. Ah, and here Laughing Octopus got a forfeit win, unfortunately, even though they did contact in time. So maybe A2C4 didn't put enough times onto the board in terms of offerings for when they could play or something like that. That's always unfortunate. Doctor, you have 45 minutes to live, an additional 45 seconds per move. I really like that name. I think there's probably a way you could have like sharpened it up, set it a bit shorter, but it's a very fun one. Unmodified Sea Creatures, probably another one, slightly new name. I don't get this, by the way. If I'm not unmodified Sea Creatures is some kind of reference, I hope someone could explain it to me. I'm completely clueless. Anyway, Sea Creatures to the win. Quidit lost against Taxiway, unfortunately. LC69 best pilot to draw. Hippetiya versus Bone Collector. We covered this game, I know. Art for the Pawn Storm. Here they are to playing their own game as well against Easy26. Oh, very nice. Easy isn't super active on Slack, but at least they're back playing their game, so that's really nice. And they're obviously the person who is providing all the kind of data crunching in the background for the award ceremonies and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I don't know anyone else, so we will move on. Night Engade. Night Engade. That's also another name that I think is new. Versus the Stalemate Society. Alright, so unfortunately we got a forfeit loss here. Yeah, actually this game I was expecting to cover. And then all of a sudden, poof, it just disappeared off the TV list and there was no game. I was very unhappy about that. It would have been fun to see it, but it happens sometimes. Megalodon777HS. I don't know this player, but they played my opponent for this this week in a previous game, and in like doing a little bit of preparation, I remember seeing their name. Top spin is here. That's Mr. Blunderful, that's nice. And a double late contact by Ray Scritor and Queen of Hearts 75, although they did play their game, thankfully. And then Mongrel Tiger. Hey yo, Mongrel Tiger is super positively inspired. Last week when we were getting ready for the first preview stream, they were all over the place, like giving a lot of support and reactions and stuff. So I don't know if Mongrel Tiger is around tonight, but thank you very much for that from last week. It was super nice to be excited with someone else in Slack. Here's one small slip for a pawn versus bot winning. Marlin, and I know is the board one pick for fantasy, the most popular because they're really, really strong. FIDE rated. I think their rating in Lichess is still going up. Name goes here is someone who did well in fantasy for last season as well. I think they came second, so we'll have a look, and they won their game. Congratulations. NSEEK, I lost to them last season, and I think we covered this game as well. It was a pretty good one. Although I don't know if I finished it. Maybe we missed the ending. Business Prof Kaimate. So I did a separate video for this in the channel as well. We got contacted by Kaimates and asked if we would be willing to follow their games for the season and do some recaps and stuff. So very interesting kind of new thing. I haven't done this for other people's games before, so Yeah, we have a separate one for that. It was a very kind of clear like opening principles reminder for me. Alright, next, Boom Shakalaka versus There's One in Game We Might Know. One in Game We Might Know, congratulations. We did cover this top game, I think, where Yakamashi took the win. Iron Galaxy, Intertemporal, quite active on Slack, right? Um, very logical. I feel like they always come out with like a very thought out opinion, that they can like expand on. Jockinator, Atomic Morphe, very nice versus Aurich. Oh, and Atomic Morphe took the win. Aurich, I hope you're doing well. And then Pineapple Chiffon Cake, who hasn't. Oh, we covered this game. Pineapple Chiffon Cake is new to the league, but they were watching basically every game. When I was covering, they were in the viewers list. When I was not covering, when I was just viewing myself, like midnight while I'm feeding my kid, checking out who's playing, Pineapple Chiffon Cake was also spectating. So very, very active. Participant even from an early time. It looks like I'm really happy to see so much enthusiasm. Bobby says you're wishing you're guessing you're gonna play Taxiway. You gotta don't rip. You gotta like fight. You gotta do it. Hey, hello Duck von Cross. I hope you're doing good. Gary versus Art from Postal. That should be a pretty good one as well, right? Magician versus Silk. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got some guesswork on the table as well, and we're almost looking at the pairing, so we got to go a little bit faster. Karpov DM Bind Botsuban. I know this is Transu's team. Here's Guitar Spider. Oh, unfortunate loss. Nidaku Hakamura lost as well, unfortunately. Transu took a win though. Congrats, Transu. Very nice. Catalan Charlatans versus Team the Extraordinary Amateur Mind. They took one of the slide. Enla's got a win. Congrats. Enla's did so many losses last time I covered them in the other season. I'm glad to see them winning again. Dr. Chess Dad, super fun to watch. Very aggressive. Timothy Hart took a win as well. Congrats here. And Mbekik. Mbekik. I don't know how to pronounce that. They also shared about the OT Beta games recently, which was quite fun, I think. Are we meant to have goals versus Nike Tyson? You find a plan, we punch you in the mouth. This was a draw. Super Fighter got a 1. JW Wells lost. Sarkiness, me know we did cover this game. Marky Mark took a win. Congrats. Adande won. Lost versus the Storming Eagle. Gilbert took a win as well. Congratulations. It was looking kind of tough for Gilbert when I quickly looked at the game. So congratulations for being able to take a win out of that. Fisher random moves. So this is my team. We lost this week, unfortunately. Bobby lost. He has no confidence in himself this season. I'm super, super hoping he gets his confidence back. Mills lost as well. Very unfortunate. Very interesting line in the exchange. Grunfeld. Something I could study a little bit. Duncan Klotfelter sandbagged the Loch over 9,000 by being significantly higher rated. I think they swapped boards because there was some problem, but the opponents were okay with it, so obviously, 1-1, the team-wise, it worked out. Simon was here. Oh, hello. Simon was here. This was my game. Really fun. Thank you again, Simon, for joining after the game and having a chat about the game with me on stream. That was really cool as well. I hope we can do this some more. Congrats, Gary, for taking a nice win against Tristan. Borja, how dare you lose? You let us down. Kamekudo got a super lucky draw. And Dharma X-Ray, unfortunately, also wasn't able to execute some of the fun ideas that was visible in their game. Minerva's Horse versus Rock and Rollers, and I'm getting a feeling that we are very close to the new pairing, so I'm going to speed up even more. But did Atomic Morphe end up with more time than they started with? That is the question. I was holding but missed the move button, Lars. Oh, that's funny. Are we there? We're almost there yet. It's 2 p.m. Check pairings. Yeah, pairings should be coming out literally in a second. I'm just going to like quickly check here because I want to come back to it. Rook and Rollers. So, Alp Arpason did a kind of surprise stream. Congrats on their win. I accidentally opened it. Alex Gould won the Fancy last season and now it's just playing. Yeah, win and leave while you're ahead, right? And then Rook Pawn Shop took win versus the Titans. This is probably the last new name that we can see. Cape St. George is continuing their white-only streak by playing white in the first week of this season as well. Absolute madness. Alright, and I think now we will jump over to what probably will be the new pairings in a second. And if it isn't, there we go, immediately out already. Alright, let's have a look what's going on then. Stalemate Society versus Skewer, I barely knew her. So Mr. One More is playing Razorneck. I hope that they will actually play the game this time. I assume that there was some concern earlier on. Team The Extraordinary Amateur Mind versus Team as in Teamily. Susie Dent versus Jelly One, that'll be really fun. Dr. Chess Dad versus Gospel Gambit, very fun. Timothy Harvest versus Jordan, very fun. Yeah, all of this looks really good. Robert Jackson against the YSG YWJJJ. Emily is playing Kirk D. Summit D versus Mkabekek. And Sis6 versus Fork22. And Kale M versus Matan V1. There's one in-gamer we might know. Let's see. Some Raptor players over here against Rio. And Iron Galaxy. Temporals against TTV Dr. P-Foul. I'm going to go with that name, I guess. Atomic Morpheus playing Bikanda, and Electric Falcon is playing a Catholic Catholicity. I'm guessing. Unmodified Sea Creatures against Karpov DM. Quitted against Leverkusen LC69 Yakamashi. Bone Collector QRS. Here's Izzy against Scott's Whiskey. Funny Like a Clown against Jay Danan. Alright. Four Mates versus Fisher Random Moves. Jesse HF against Big Boss. Big Boss was Bobby's opponent this past game. Astronominov against Tomsey. So this is the team we played previously. I don't have to say that for every board, do I? Omertal versus Simon was here. ST Lion, Tristan. Should be good. Brotherhood of Wood versus A Small Step for a Pawn. So Yeku is going up against Marlin. Good luck, Yeku. I hope that it's okay. Name goes in here against JC. Seb32 against NSEEK. Cinema Show against T3SC. Man, some of these names are difficult to pronounce. Business Prof against Chess Fefe. Very nice. Empire Strikes Back Rank against Rook Takes Pawn Shop. Aldrich Cape. Oh man, Cape St. George finally playing a black game. Congratulations. So a whole season plus one first game this one, so that's 8-9. So that's 9 games in a row in this league that they've just had white constantly, and now finally they have black. Probably they don't even remember that they can play black in this season. They're just going to end up like prepping for white anyway or something. No one else here I recognize right now. Rook and Rollers against We Just Turned Bobby World from Plastic to Tragic. So Alp Arslan is playing It's a Secret. That'll be a fun game. Good luck both players. Meekly is playing Dr. Wobegong. Interesting as well. Val against Kalasam. Shonoff against Nestor. We've covered Nestor before as well. FWC against BPAC. Serenity Pigeon against Mizrab. Down Home against Ekop. And Sherlock is facing Speeder. Control Alt Defeat against Rockroll and Achok. I don't know the top players' names, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Marazzi against Night Fury. Night Fury, congrats on being just awesome. I hope that you have a good game. Stefan 15 against Lloyd Rett. Carlos Magnus and Grey Sensei. And Nywolf is Cardigan's opponent. Alright, we got it. And then this a piece is against I suggest you push the F pawn. Alright, so I suggest you push the F pawn and have a lot to live up to from last season, right? Being the winners from last time. Rufus and Doofus, nice. Civil London is playing them. The chess player is playing Lorb. Matthew Huber is playing Manu. Junaf, you're playing Patchy the Pirate. I like Patchy the... Isn't Patchy the Pirate the name from the Risk... the online Risk version? I think one of the icons, like the profiles you can use is Patchy the Pirate. It's the one I have. It's really nice. Sneaky attack against Macedog. Upgo 5... Habimus Bishop pair. Here's already someone who needs to be replaced. Come on, alts, please replace. So Habimus Bishop pair is playing Are We Meant to Have Goals? Tommy is playing Taylor Washer, who I think I saw in the previous coverage streams, but now I forgot who they played. Hunterwood against JW Wells. Sarkiness against NXN. So Mark is out, unfortunately. He needs a replacement on board 4. Adande 1. Gilbert, Johan. Yeah, looks good. Return to center against Pawn Stormers. Mori is playing Susasun. That actually made me think about the Naruto. What's his face? Sasuke has got this Susana something. This purple thing that he can make as his like final technique, right? This made me think of it. Farshir Wolfies against Cena. Sideshow Bob. Nikas Corfu. Okay, looks good enough. Sideshow Bob, go Pawn Stormers. Yeah, go. You gotta cheer for your team, right? You gotta cheer. Nike Tyson versus Nightmare on the 7th rank. Super Fighter against Gone Nowhere. Time MP Mino is playing Computer User. The Storming Eagle is over here playing J Viktorov. JV J Viktorov, I guess. Said Normani is playing Schneeholz CZ. And Falston is playing Schrodinger's Sack is a pretty fun name as well, I thought. Ivanchuk Norris is a fun name against Avignog Modyak. Magician is playing Silk. Hey, isn't this what Barbie, isn't this what you said, by the way? We put the team as intimely as you do. What did Barbie say? He was thinking Magician plays as Silk, right? Yeah, you did. Congrats. Correct. Mennonite against Glafir. Ochakawata against Wusikov. I'm giving up on pronouncing some of these names because it's just difficult. Mr. Scribs is over here as well. Alright, not Forking Ground versus Habemus Popil. And now you have another opponent, another player on board 8 that needs a sub. Immediately, call a sub. AA Controllers here against Billy Sprinkle. Shamli against E-Rider. Robbie R is over here. Slugman. Very good. Alright, here's my team. Bobby has a great day every day versus Dr. 4545. Feet, you are playing Taxiway as you expected. Congratulations and good luck. That means Duncan is facing Best Pilot Ever. Mills is facing Recomagnesium. Rico Magnesius. I'm playing Hepetia, who I've been covering, so I hope that helps me in some way. Gary is playing Art of the Pawn Storm. That'll be fun. I'm guessing maybe they stream their own game, so Gary will get a opponent stream game. Borja is playing True Blue Lee. Kamakura is playing Bortvinik. And Dama X-Ray is playing Ayildiz. I'm just going with it. You just gotta go with it with some of these names, right? Oh, my mouse. The Titans is facing 100 pawns versus 1 gorilla. Very nice. Who we've got to buffer Underrun against Husseini. Ivory. Olaf's my Brolaf. That's pretty good too. I think some of the people's account names are better than the team names sometimes. Olaf's my Brolaf is pretty fun. Bot winning against Night Ingade. Alright, yeah, we covered them. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name now. Patty K. Very nice. Kaimate, you're facing Racetricker, so get ready, get prepping. We'll be watching. We find that Thibault cancels out Capablanca against Boom Shakalaka. Bad player over here. Ready to try and crush someone called Chakakuma. Good luck. Amos Burner, Senfeld. Sarowin, Aeroplanino, Turtle Tickler. Turtle Tickler is good too. Aurich and Pineapple Chiffon Cake. Alright, good luck, good luck. Prepare for mayhem against the Catalan Charlatans. Or the Catalan Carlatans. Anyway, Inlance against Anthony Cersei. Honestly, did all the names in the league just get more complicated and difficult to pronounce this season? What is going on? Brandy. Here's Moki against Butter Pecan. Yes, Butter Pecan. Yeah. Merrick's. Yeah. Marozzi Bind against Kamsky and the Cramming Cheat Detection Consultants. Here we go. Guitar Spider, you're playing Elpsky. Niraku Hakamura is playing Nick R. And Tranzu is playing You Check Me, I Check You, who I think played a really strong game in a previous season, last season. I feel like I watched them and I was like, damn, that's really strong. But I don't remember right now. But anyway, good luck to Tranzu as well. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you guessed everything, Bobby. I feel like you were cheating a little bit. Huh? Where did you get all this from? Order the Pawn Storm is actually pretty chill. Nice. I didn't actually listen to their stream for very long, unfortunately. It was basically during my game, and then when I was done, I didn't really have too much energy for chess, but I quickly popped in, and it was nice to see someone else. They had a pretty good layout as well for someone who just started up. I thought they put a fair bit of effort into making the stream look pretty good, so I was happy about that. Dark from Cross. I feel like better team, worse name, worse team, better team. Yeah, I mean, that can happen sometimes, right? People put their energy into their play, into their team name, but maybe not both. Don't judge a player by their best games, but by their worst. Bobby, That's tough, man. I don't know if I want to swallow that news. I think that would make my life really hard. All right, in the last pairing, Control Alt Resign versus Minerva's Horse, Horse Knight 57, J Punisher, Rory Klachlas here against Jefferson Adam, and that's it. That would be the bottom of the line. So everyone got to remember, please go message your opponent 3 times that you could play across 2 days. And be aware that everything should be in UTC time. Don't tell your opponent the time in your own local time, because then no one knows what's going on and everyone's super confused. I have to get off a little bit early tonight, but I wanted to quickly just pop over to the fantasy rankings just to see here. So we can see that after the first week, Silk Wanderer is leading with 7 out of 8. Congratulations, they did really well for everything except board 1. Maybe they picked themselves and they lost, I'm not sure. AA Control is doing pretty good along with a few others following. Mongrel Tiger, Some Rapid Player, Millspees, and Pineapple Chiffon. On the dot is over Intertemporal, and then the popular team actually didn't do so good. The popular team only got 5 out of 8. And my team did pretty badly, so my results also quite low. Alright, but it's only 1 week, so let's not, drink it into too much. Silk Wanderer has clearly got a really great week 1, but, 1 bad week and you could be sitting at the back of the pack again. We will see what happens. Keep looking out for this space. I also wanted to just mention a few things that's happening on Slack, and then I'm going to have to run. The first thing I wanted to mention was, and let me just put back the pairings, why not? Or maybe the standings, or it doesn't really matter at this point just yet, but it's kind of fun, I guess, just to see. So Skiwai, Bailey, Noah had the strongest result based on their tie breaks, so they're sitting in the front. And then, a lot of people doing kind of equally good right behind them. So what I wanted to mention was, on Slack, Game of the Month voting is still ongoing, so get in there. I think over the weekend, Mennonite said there's only 1 game, and then all of a sudden a lot of people put more options in there, so there's a lot of games to vote for. Secondly, the new ledger is out, and that is something I wanted to open up. So Lichess ledger over here. So do go and have a look at that. It's obviously all just, Bobby, you also did a little bit here, right? So a little bit of people just putting in some volunteer effort to bring some interesting news to the broader Lichess community, because this goes, if we, do the right kind of content, can go onto the front page of the Lichess site for a little while. So do go check that out, give it a little like and a little heart and so on. And if you want to see something specific in the ledger in the future, or if you want to contribute, go to the Lichess ledger Slack channel and get involved. This is all just volunteer work and people kind of pitching in their time, so it's very easy to get involved if you want to. Next, there's no simul happening just yet, but we are checking when the new one might be coming. I was playing last time, it was super fun, so I hope when the next simul comes up I can let you all know, and you can also join. It was really good last time. Then today, Rapid Battle is starting, so I don't know if you can join late, but you can definitely follow along. And if you're in Rapid Battle, I think your pairings are coming out today for the first round, so do have a look out for that. And then if anyone wants to play in Lone Wolf's registrations open up today as well, like I mentioned already. So if you want to play there, go have a look, sign up. I think you've got a week or 2 to do that before the season kicks off. You can sign up late as well. We allow you to sign up late for like the first half of the season or something. I forget the exact time frame right now, but you've got time. So do give it a go if you want to. Lone Wolf is quite easy because you could kind of join and then not play all your games. It's individual, so you're not letting down a team. And the time control is slightly faster, 30 plus 30. So it's not quite a 45 plus 45 game. And that's it. Apologies, I'm gonna run. I gotta go pick up some stuff. I gotta wash my my little man. He's gotta get through the shower. And I'm very happy that you guys came to say hi, and I hope that we can see you again in the next stream. But for now, I'm gone. Look out for the streams coming up from my channel, from other people's channels. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I actually set the chat to only subscribers being able to chat. So I'm happy to see everyone who's chatting, because now I know, now I know that you're a subscriber. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't really know if that's necessary, but I realized there's a setting for it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Okay, and with that, I gotta go. Thank you very much for coming to wait with me. I'm looking forward to skatering this week and doing a little bit of prep and then just enjoying the game. And yeah, let's bring back the music. See you guys around. Bye-bye.